podcast for the hopeless
and the romantics.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Katie.
And today we are doing A Cinderella Story. Sorry.
I'm so annoyed at you. I hate when you do that. A Cinderella Story.
Cinderella.
Ella.
A. So that was you this time. You sang this time.
I talked that.
Sure.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. So we're doing Cinderella Story. Miss Hilary Duff, 2004.
God.
Yeah, this movie was triggering for the both of us.
I used to, be obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Rewatching.
it's been a long time since I watched it. Yeah. And upon the rewatch, it's interesting.
I'd never seen it, so watching it from a 2021 lens was also interesting.
I mean, the fashion.
The fashion. At least we didn't see any dresses with jeans underneath.
No, I guess
not.
No,
we didn't. We got a lot of low-rise jeans.
Yeah.
And that was a bit rough.
Yeah.
But early 2000s fashion, it makes me crazy that
it's just it's back.
Yeah,
it's
and
back,
I don't
back,
like
back
it.
again. So I think that's why it feels weird too watching it in 2004,
yeah.
Knowing that literally all that shit, every little Gen Z TikToker wants to look like that right now.
Yep.
Oh, and we had to live through it.
We had to live, my scalp is itching just thinking about living through it again.
Yeah. Hilary Duff, though. Hilary, if you're listening.
Duff dog. You are listening.
She's not. She's a mommy. She's busy.
She's listening in our dreams.
Yeah, in spirit. Hilary,
in spirit.
I love you so much.
Hilary, if you're listening, we still
Metamorphosis changed my life.
It was my first CD I ever bought.
How gorgeous, first of all, the colors.
Teal.
That teal and the coral.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let the rain fall
That
down.
album's so good. Honestly, I came
album.
back to it a couple of years ago and was like, okay.
Every
Metamorphosis
song's a
really
banger.
changed my life.
No skips.
But also Lizzie McGuire, just
yeah.
I feel Hilary's obviously a beautiful girl and not actually relatable. But in 2001 and 2 and 3 and 4 when we were, watching Lizzie, she just was a relatable girl to me.
Yeah.
And I feel she I do feel Lizzie McGuire particularly dealt with real things.
Yeah.
In
100%.
a way that no other middle school kind of show or high school show did.
No.
And I just always have been.
Were they? Were they in middle school?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were in 7th and 8th grade.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that show.
I just rewatched it maybe a year ago.
Does it hold up?
It's so good. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Looking back at Lizzie McGuire, watching it as an adult, I'm so happy that I had that show.
Yeah, true.
Because it really was I don't know. It was just kind of pure and innocent and I don't know. After this period, I feel all the high school stuff or middle school stuff was the movie 13 and really dramatic kind of dark stuff. And I felt that show was still so pure.
Yeah.
And
it was one-off episodes. You didn't have to follow storylines throughout the season.
It's so good. I mean, there are some where you definitely want to see the one before it. But yeah, it's and just Gordo and Lizzie.
I do remember Gordo, the original Jim and Pam.
True. Ah! No! I'm mad at you for that.
You're welcome.
They're so cute. Anyways, yeah, Hilary Duff, I think for me and probably a lot of people our age, she was such a
icon.
And I was just watching a whole TikTok series about the Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff
feud.
Aaron Carter drama.
Was it Aaron Carter?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Who now, I mean, apparently a few years ago, this is what I saw on the TikTok. He commented biggest regret of my life was losing that girl with a bunch of sad faces. And someone commented this better be about Hilary. And he was obviously.
I mean, if I lost Hilary Duff, I'd feel the same way.
Here's the thing. I love Lindsay. But
yeah.
She makes it. Please, Lindsay, I hope you're not hearing this, but like, you make it hard to love you.
Yeah, Lindsay, we love you, but also
you did a lot of DUIs and
stealing
things
and, like, some cultural appropriation here and there.
I love like her movies from this era, like Parent Trap. I've watched 16 trillion times. Like, I can do that whole movie by heart.
True.
You know, but I feel like
it took me so long to realize she didn't have a twin.
Girl, having someone explain that to me,
I was like, no, that's not how movies work.
I was like,
there has to be two of her.
What do you mean they're never in the same scene?
No.
Yes, they are.
No.
I hated that.
There's a lot of twin stuff happening right now, and I'm, like, not into it. Like, there's twins in this movie. We're talking about that. Twins on Love Island.
Oh, my God.
I don't...
You're going to be okay.
I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. It's fine. I love all the twins that are out there.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Bitch.
You thought you could get past it. Let's get into it. Let's get
I wonder if
into
the three
it.
people who listen to our podcast are, like, enjoying this.
I think they are.
Like...
I think they are. I know they are.
Oh, okay.
I know you enjoy my songs.
For sure. Okay, so we're talking about A Cinderella Story today.
What fairy tale is this based off of?
Beauty and the Beast?
I thought it was Little Mermaid.
Oh, it is Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Like when she, like, you know, gets her legs, can't talk, all of that.
Yeah, very similar.
Exactly the same.
I hate you.
Or it's Beauty and the Beast, because I do remember a lot of talking dishes in this movie.
True.
Yeah.
And candles.
Candlesticks, Lumiere.
I love Lumiere.
If you guys want us to do a Disney movie at any point, let us know.
Okay,
those count.
Also, Lumiere, best part of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, 100%.
Like...
I loved that gay candlestick.
Me too.
Also, I know he's not canonically gay, but, like, him and Cogsworth... They have a will they won't they
he's
vibe.
Bisexual, Lumiere, because he's also in love with the French sweeper thing.
The weirdly sexualized feather duster.
I mean, yeah, he's into her too. He's bisexual. That's why we love Lumiere. He's
Maybe they're
fluid.
polyamorous.
Polyamorous. Yeah, but Cogsworth would never.
No.
He's so like a one person.
So like they're the unit. But Lumiere can go off and do his own thing.
But I'm saying I don't think Cogs would be into that. Because I feel like he would be like... He seems so...
Cogs is a Virgo, though. So I feel like he, like, needs time alone.
Yes, but I'm saying I don't know that he would be into a non-traditional...
maybe.
Scenario.
We'll talk about this more when we watch Beauty and the Beast. The sexual dynamics of the house.
Of the household items.
Sorry, this is so entertaining to me. And their astrological signs.
Yeah.
Because Lumiere's a Leo as fuck.
You think?
He's got fire on him.
True.
And he's like the center of attention. He's got his own song. Anyway, this podcast isn't about...
With Lumiere. I remember being a kid and being like, do I like am I interested in Lumiere?
Am I like interested?
Is something going on with me and Lumiere this whole time?
Do I need a therapist?
No, of course I wasn't thinking that.
Should I talk to some? No, this is perfectly normal behavior because, girl, I had a crush on Lumiere too.
Candlesticks.
Sure. Oh.
You know?
Oh.
Okay.
So Cinderella Story starts.
So it's obviously referencing the fairy tale Cinderella, which I just want to get this off my chest.
Here we go.
Not a fan.
No, me neither.
You know what? I think even as a little girl, I needed more depth from the woman. I needed more drama.
Yeah, she was boring.
I needed more like, I'm a badass, like Mulan energy. Even Belle has her moments, and she's like really well read and super intelligent.
Yeah. Honestly, I would even take Aurora from Sleeping Beauty over Cinderella, because like she's like the prince is chasing after her like, I love you, and she's like, no, I'm good, like I'm living happily in the forest with my fairy godmothers.
She's like, I'm fine.
Yeah. He's like, when can I see you again? And she goes, never. It's great.
I just feel like Cinderella,
she's just
like, I feel for her, and I like her little mice friend.
Oh, Gus.
But like,
yeah,
I just always felt like boring. Like,
and like she doesn't have like fun songs unless you're listening to like Into the Woods. Then Cinderella.
yeah,
has
she
some
doesn't
good
have
songs.
fun. She doesn't have fun songs.
Yeah. A dream is a wish your heart
I do like that song
makes.
actually, so I don't know why I'm acting like. No, but I just feel like overall,
Yeah.
Cinderella, she just didn't give me like the energy that that makes me feel like happy to be a woman.
She was very like the 50s housewife.
And obviously that's when this movie
Yeah.
came out. So but I just remember being a little kid and being like,
Even like I'm sure the original fairy tale is probably more gruesome.
oh, it
they
is. It
always
actually
are.
is.
Oh right, the stepsisters have to cut off their toes.
Yeah.
To get, I remember, and then their eyes get plucked
Yeah.
out. Into the Woods. They got a little bit more gruesome with it, but yeah, it's based off Cinderella and like
I feel like it's definitely like an easy one to pull from a lot of movies and stories are based on
orphaned
Cinderella.
child with an abusive step parent and
Yeah.
and terrible stepsisters.
Is that Harry
We've
Potter?
all been there. Yeah, right. It's she lives under the stairs. She actually lives above the stairs in this one.
So, movie opens up. We got a little girl version of Miss Hilary Duff. Mm-hmm. Her name in the movie is Sam. And she's with her dad, and she's narrating, of course. We got a little narration.
We do love a narration.
And she's like, I believed in fairy tales or some shit like that. And then she's like with her dad, and he's reading to her about, I think he's reading literally Cinderella to her. And this like really thick,
like first edition, like Grimm
fairy
tale book.
And they finish it, and she's like, "Are fairy tales real, Dad?" And he's like,
"No, idiot."
No, he's like, "No, but dreams are." And then she's like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like,
"Okay." And then he's like, "Earthquake."
And then he's like, "It's not all about meeting your Prince Charming, it's about fulfilling your dreams," which I like.
Yeah, and she says,
"Give it a little
"Where
modern
can you
twist."
meet princes.
And then he goes, Princeton University.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I love you. You're the best." What is that quote that he says?
See, my first note for this movie is Dad dies. So.
But wait, we haven't got there yet.
I know. I'm so sorry. I thought I wrote down the quote.
I mean, it's Cinderella. Everybody knows.
Spoiler alert.
It's the, like, outfield quote.
Oh, yeah. Like,
quote.
Don't be afraid. Like, don't not join the game because you're afraid of the pitch or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
because you're afraid to strike out or something.
Yeah, don't quit the game because you're afraid to make a strikeout. I don't know.
Because you're afraid to hit a field goal. It's a
sport reference that basically means don't give up.
Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah. So then she's like, "What's going on?" And then
because like the house is shaking.
Earthquake, and his new wife is like, "Ah!" And then he's like, "I have to go get her."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Dad, no, don't go." And then she's like holding his hand, and then it like slow-mo.
So dramatic.
Hand letting go.
And then it fades to black.
And then
you hear, "I lost my best friend that day."
And you find out that her pops passed.
And he didn't make a will before he died. So she's left with her stepmother,
Fiona.
Who is the best part of the entire fucking movie.
Yeah. Jennifer Coolidge, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't...
Round of applause for Jennifer Coolidge. The stepmother's played by Jennifer Coolidge. And I seriously was cackling at her at some points in this movie. She's so funny.
She is absolute goals.
She's God's gift to this world.
She's so funny, so underrated.
We
were just talking about this, weren't we? Oh yeah, because we were talking the other night.
We were talking about Best in Show.
God, she's just so funny. Like she just gives us what we need.
The 4th of July.
She's great, and I feel like she is totally underrated and underappreciated. So I think she's having a little comeback right now because we're all like,
we're bringing back like the 90s and early 2000s underappreciated stars like Brendan Fraser, Jennifer Coolidge.
True.
Those two. I can't think of any other names right now.
Stifler's mom, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So
MILF, like literally the MILF.
the blueprint.
The OG MILF.
The blueprint for MILFs.
Isn't that crazy?
Because I agree, she's a MILF.
She's gorge.
I wonder if she has kids in real life.
She still looks so good too.
Like
2021, she's looking good.
She'll look good forever. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So we hear Sam waking up and like there's an intercom in her room because she, you know, lives in the attic.
Oh yeah,
now.
she gets pushed to the attic.
Mm-hmm. And like so, the evil stepmother is calling Sam to make her breakfast and do this and do that, and Sam comes down and gives stepmother her breakfast. Fiona her breakfast, and the sprinklers start going off, and Sam goes to turn them off, and Fiona goes, "Leave them on. The grass is getting green or getting brown." And she goes, "We're in a drought." Fiona's like, "Droughts are for poor people."
Very that. Also, like, all of her outfits are, like, pink and feathery and diamondy, and she's just, like, so extra.
She's very clearly living off of, like, whatever money the dad left, like, got to keep the house, is, like, spoiling her daughters, because Sam also has stepsisters who are being treated...
bratty stepsisters.
Yeah, and being treated much nicer than she is.
Yes. And then they also own a diner. And she's like totally remade it. It's called Fiona's now. It's actually like personally my taste.
It's
like,
kind of cute.
It's all pink and they wear roller skates and like poodle skirts. Like, ugh, it's not that bad.
I really don't hate it. Like, people love kitschy things like that.
I know. I wish that there was, I had like a regular spot to go to like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
It's interesting.
They, like, Fiona definitely kind of like overworks Sam at the diner. And
she like makes her go in and open before
school.
Yeah. And like Sam's trying to like study to get into Princeton.
So sad.
And like graduate a year early.
So saddies.
Poor baby.
I know.
So she's at the diner cleaning, and we meet, what is the character Regina King plays? So Regina King plays Rhonda. And Rhonda's such a good character.
I have to say this also. Like, I just watched Regina King in Watchmen this year. What the fuck? She looks, dare I say, better. And when I was watching this, obviously she's been in a million things, but like Cinderella Story I used to watch all the time. So I was like, wait a ticket. How is that possibly the same person when it's been like, what, 17 years?
Yeah.
And in Watchmen, she looks so good.
And she's so talented because she also does both the voices of the two little boys in the Boondocks. She's their voice actor, and like she's just like,
she's amazing.
Regina King, if you're listening, hi, hello.
We love you.
We love you. So anyway, Rhonda tells Sam, like, go to school, you're going to be late for school. And Sam's like, no, I have to do this for Fiona. And you kind of learn that the reason Sam is doing all of this stuff for Fiona is because Fiona has her dad's money. So the only way she can get into Princeton or afford it is if Fiona pays.
Yeah, so she basically
figures,
she basically has to be like her like caretaker, not caretaker, but she basically has to do everything for Fiona that Fiona asks. It's so sad. But you can tell Rhonda's like really on her side.
Yeah, Rhonda sticks up for her.
And she's a strong bitch. Like, she's just like, go, I'll deal with the evil step monster if she comes in.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So Sam is going to school and she picks up her best friend Carter. Carter's so cute. We love him in this movie. But so they get to school and we kind of find out that like Sam and Carter aren't really like the most popular kids. They kind of stick to each other. Like, yeah,
they definitely are more like, I mean, it's Hollywood, so like they're like the dumb nerds, but they're actually even like, though they're like gorgeous, hot and cool, and we all wish,
and have interesting hobbies. Like,
I know. And then like the funniest thing is that Sam's like, I just have this like beat up, disgusting old car, and it's like a very nice Mustang, vintage Mustang with like what did you say?
With one piece of duct tape on the back seat. to be like, it's beat up, she's not cool.
And then they get into the parking lot and like everyone's making fun of the car.
They're like, this parking lot's for like new cars only, because like people keep pulling in and taking her
like
spots.
their fancy cars,
their G-Wagons. And yeah, so all the popular kids are coming out and they're like, oh my god, stalker, because she's like waiting for them to get out of the road to drive through.
Right.
And so we meet the popular kids. One of them is Austin. He's played by Chad Michael Murray, who Catherine had a crush on when she was younger.
Oh my god. I guess you didn't, but most of the girlies I know from back in the Disney, they had a crush on Chad Michael Murray.
And you're right. All of my friends did.
I was obsessed with him in Freaky Friday the most. That's like peak my type of dude. Mm-hmm. He's like on a motorcycle into music, like hot, like his hair is like
you play guitar.
His hair is like long and he always has to like push it back. That's my type.
That's right. That's
my
when
type.
He has the Leo haircut.
Oh, he's so hot then. Yeah. But in this movie, you know, he's the like,
jock,
but misunderstood.
The soft side.
He's like, I don't want to be this guy that like everyone's putting me in this box that I am. Very similar to High School Musical.
Yeah.
Troy Bolton, you know,
True.
like I can be more than just great at everything I try.
So while they're in school, Sam is texting and talking to someone.
Texting on her blue flip phone. And it's this boy named Nomad, and they're like flirting. They're talking about how they're so misunderstood. They both want to go to Princeton. He wants to go to be a writer. It's very like, do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
I was just going to say. Drifting through the wind. Wanting to start again?
Or it's very like, do you ever want to run away? Do you lock yourself in your room with the radio on turned up so loud so no one hears you screaming?
Do you ever feel like breaking down?
Do you ever feel out of place? Like somehow you just don't belong?
Copyright.
If it weren't for you, this podcast would be
just
stricken.
Yeah.
Because I will
stroke it.
Because I will fucking sing a whole ass song.
I'll just yell copyright on top. Copyright.
Copyright. But yeah, it's very that. It's very like, it's so hard to be me.
Nobody knows who we are.
Nobody gets me.
Yeah, so it must be hard to be like a rich, white, privileged person in California when you're 17.
But I will say, like, every single high schooler does feel that way.
Oh, 100%.
But every single high schooler acts like they don't feel that way.
Yeah.
We all feel that way. Everybody. Except for, like, the really dumbs.
The really dumbs.
You know, the really dumbs.
Yeah.
We all know who they are. You know who you are, dumbs from my high school, dumbs from Danielle's high school.
Don't even look at me.
They don't know who they are.
They don't. That's the thing.
They're dumb.
They're dumbs.
They're dumbs.
So we find out that Nomad, who Sam is texting and having this, I don't want to say secret affair, but like secret affair with.
Well, yeah, like cyber affair.
Is Austin, and he's dating like the most popular girl at school, and she's kind of a bit much. Austin and Shelby are dating. And he's like, she just doesn't get me, man.
You can tell he doesn't even like her.
Mm-mm. And Austin's trying to convince his secret admirer to come to the Halloween dance because they know they go to the same school. And he's like, come to the dance, we can finally meet each other, and it's going to be amazing. And she's, like, going back and forth. She's like, I don't want to go. Maybe I'll go. I don't want to go. And Carter, like, convinces her to go. And when she goes home to tell Fiona says, no, you have to go work at the diner.
You have to pick up a shift at the diner.
And I'll be there at 12 sharp to know you're still there. Like, they hammer in the whole 12 sharp thing, which, like, high school dances don't go until 12 o'clock at night.
But we get it Cinderella.
Yeah. So she's cleaning, and she has to take the order of the popular kids at the diner. And it's Austin and Shelby and then, like, a bunch of other jagweeds. And Shelby, they keep calling her diner girl. Like, they keep insulting her for having a job, Which is weird.
It's so weird.
I'm like, I always thought kids who had jobs were the coolest because they were like closer to becoming an adult than I was.
They had freedom.
They got to have money.
They had money, yeah.
Which like a lot of times it was usually like
for their family.
But
yeah, I felt the same way.
And they're all being really rude to her, and Austin dumps Shelby at the table, and Shelby's like, no, you're being stupid. This isn't real. Like, take some time. I'll meet you at the dance. And Austin goes to tip Sam and basically doesn't really acknowledge her existence. And she's just like, okay. So she's cleaning, and Rhonda is asking, like, why are you still here? Isn't there, like, a dance you should go to?
Well, because
Carter
shows up all dressed up and his, like, what is it, like a
Zorro.
Zorro.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? Like, we have to go. And she's like, Carter, I can't go. Like,
I have to mop
Fiona's
the
making
floors
me work.
for 6 hours. I must mop the floors.
Fiona's making me work.
Which, like, for the amount of times they clean those floors with those people on roller skates, like, that's OSHA should get involved. Like,
not OSHA. But yeah, so then Rhonda is like, go to the dance. Like, because Carter's like, you know, the secret admirer is going to be there. And who's the secret admirer? And they're all talking about it. And then basically Rhonda's like, I have a dress that you can use.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be like...
It's so weird they give her, like, a nudge at a backstory, but then nothing.
Nothing.
Because she's like, it's a long story.
Was it going to be his... I wonder if it was going to be her dad.
It is.
That's the backstory I'm writing.
I agree. Fan fiction.
I'm going to write some fanfic. If anyone out there is looking for Cinderella Story fanfic, Rhonda's about to get a whole new...
backstory.
Whole backstory.
She was in love with her dad, and for whatever reason...
She was in love with
Sam's
dad.
We're all in love with our fathers. But, so... Sam is going to the dance as Cinderella, and she's wearing a mask. And it's not, let me tell you, it's not a full face mask.
Okay, listen.
It's an eye mask.
Here's the moment where this movie loses all, like...
credibility.
Any chance at credibility is that she's wearing, like, a very, like, tiny, dainty eye mask.
Yeah.
The entire rest of her face is completely visible. Not to mention, like, her hair, her height, her voice. All of those things, normal.
Her shoulders.
The shoulder blades, all of it. And so, at this point, you know, when I was 12, I bought it. When I was 12, I was like, OMG.
I mean, it's the same with, like, the original Cinderella. Like... You've seen her entire face. She just left a shoe.
True.
Like, you're a shitty conversationalist if you didn't even get her name.
Also, like, when you saw her, wouldn't you know that it was her?
You would say, oh, shit, that's her. This is, like, let me scour the kingdom for her. Oh, wait, I found her because she's right here.
Prince Charming! Oh, shit, that's her.
Like, Prince Charming has, like, 4 brain cells. Like...
Yeah.
So does Austin.
Yeah.
Because he's like, who are you? Because, like, she enters
when it's like everyone's staring.
Everyone turns. And, like, Shelby's like,
gown.
Love her dress, hate her.
Oh my God.
Everyone's watching.
Wait, but I used to always, like, think that in my head. Like, if I saw a girl I didn't like at a dance, love her dress, hate her.
And, like, Austin turns. And it's like, love at first sight. Mm-hmm. And, like, they have this agreement to meet in the middle of the dance floor. And he meets her there and takes her outside. And they...
And there's, for some reason...
like a wedding setup.
A beautiful wedding setup with, like, a string quartet just, like, there. And then they see them walking into the gazebo. And the string quartet is like... Okay. Yeah, we're going to play. We're going to stay.
Yeah. Like you get paid for 3 hours. If I'm in that string quartet, as soon as that 3rd hour is up, I'm gone.
Yeah.
My violin's packed away.
Yeah.
Play something on your little Nokia.
Or go back into the dance.
Or go into the dance where there is music.
Actually music. So then, and, like, I forgot this, and I feel like I can't believe I forgot this, but like all of a sudden they start to play the violin and I'm like, wait a second. And then like the two of them start to dance and then the music continues and I realize it is,
and I'll be your crying shoulder. Copyright.
It is fucking I'll Be, which like I don't know how many of you had to like sit at school dances while everyone else was dancing with boys.
Oh, and you sat against the wall. Yeah, I felt
I
that.
never sat against the wall.
I sat against the wall.
I just pretended that I didn't want to be dead and like acted like it was fine. Yeah. But like I'll Be is seared into my mind as like a reminder that I'll be alone forever. So, like, when I hear that song, I literally am like...
And I'll be alone forever.
No one will ever want to dance with me. Yeah. So, I don't know if anyone else had that experience, but as soon as I heard it, I was literally transported to the middle school dance floor.
Yep.
Ooh, I was like, I'm going to go get a drink. I am thirsty. Goes to the cafeteria.
Yeah. No, I mean, if we played that at my school, the girls would find a way to grind to I'll Be on the dance floor.
Did you guys have the trains?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that noise was, but yeah, it was strange.
The grinding trains.
We were all learning a lot about our bodies. we didn't have appropriate sex education.
Okay, listen to how me this is, what I'm about to tell you. When I was in 7th grade, I was obsessed with my science teacher, Mr. Coffin. And he... Yeah, shocker.
Why isn't he
a
funeral director?
I know. He was, like, chaperoning one of the dances and, like, taking a ruler around, you know, making sure, like, the kids were, like...
6 inches apart?
Yeah.
Leaving space for Jesus?
Yeah. But I was like, I need a boy to dance with me tonight because I really want Mr. Coffin to come over with me and, like, banter with me about having to be... What? Like, I was like, I want to use one of these middle school children boys because the man...
To get to my science teacher. Catherine, are you
13. Okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And I just wanted him to come over and be like, you know, gotta keep 6 inches. And me be like, totally. Like, it's not
I bet you've never seen 6 inches.
Like, I wouldn't have even been... like charming or like flirty
or like witty or anything.
No, I would have just been like,
he talked to me.
Yeah, literally. Mr. Coffin, if you're listening.
Mr. Coffin, if you're listening, send us your ruler.
A lot has changed.
I do have the witty banter now. Call me.
No ruler necessary.
Stupid. So, yeah, they're dancing to I'll Be. Like, it's all very romantic and, like, really beautiful. They look like they're getting married.
And, like...
getting closer.
What's gonna happen? Like, like, who are you? And what do you... You know, they're just... Yeah. He's trying to get to, like, know her.
And then her phone goes off. Because she has to be back at the diner by midnight. And she's like, not now. And while this is all going on, like, Carter's having his own side story where he ends up making out with Shelby all night.
Yeah, he's, like, very hot.
Because he's also got, like, an eye mask and no one can know who he is, even though he's the only child in the school with a ponytail. Like, but anyway, Sam comes in and goes, I have to leave. So they leave the dance. And as they're leaving, Sam's stepsisters realize it's Sam.
That Sam's in the car next to them.
Yeah.
Because Fiona had just picked up the girls.
Yeah.
So they have to kind of, like, race each other home. And then,
antics ensue.
You know, technically, Fiona gets to the diner first, and she gets inside, and she's like, where's Sam?
And, like, Rhonda and everyone's trying to cover for her, but then Sam jumps up and says, order up! Like, very cute. And, yeah, they... fool Fiona into thinking that Sam's been there the whole time. And she's wearing her little dress behind the kitchen counter.
But, yeah, she just can't see it.
So after this, we get to school the next day. And we discover that Austin has been a busy boy overnight. Because he picks up her phone because she drops it while she's leaving. And he puts up all these flyers that say, have you seen me? And it's just like a drawing of curly hair. Like,
True.
There's no facial features whatsoever. So every girl in the school is trying to be like, it's me, I'm Cinderella.
I'm Cinderella.
And he's like, did you forget something? And they're like, no. Like,
they take an opportunity to make fun of fat women and masculine women, and then to nail it in for us children.
And then finally, when the pretty girl is like, it's me, Austin, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not your Prince Charming.
You're beautiful, but I'm not your Prince Charming.
Like, he lets her down so easy.
I know.
The rest, he looks at his bros like, oh, this one.
Are you kidding? Disgusting.
Couldn't possibly. Oh, God. Early 2000s.
Just, like, really drilling it in for us.
Yeah. So, we spend the next couple scenes trying
Thank God
to
I had some kind of weird disorder where I thought I was like Hilary Duff,
Mm-hmm.
because it allowed me to feel like the main character.
True.
And not just the cast off.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I guess that's a good thing.
I'm always in love with the side characters. Carter's my favorite. Carter and Fiona are my favorite parts of this movie.
I mean, Fiona wins.
Yeah. So the next couple scenes are like him looking for Sam. We discover Sam gets into Princeton and Fiona hides the acceptance letter.
And you find out that Austin's dad is like pressuring him to basically like take over this like car wash business,
but also leave a football legacy at USC.
Yeah,
he's got no personality beyond going to USC, right, son?
Yeah,
and Austin's like, I want to be a writer.
Yeah, I want to go.
He suddenly gets an English accent.
Yeah, so Austin is like just feeling really misunderstood, and so he goes to the diner, and he's literally talking to Sam. To like, this for me would be like the biggest red flag. Like,
I would be like,
how do you fucking
this?
not know that it's me? Like,
fuck this then.
Like,
are you kidding?
Yeah, like, how do you not know that it's me? I had on like a very thin veil over my eyes. Like, yeah.
And so he has to leave the diner, but like you can tell he's been moved by the conversation he has with Sam, because it's another like, God, people just don't get us. We're both beautiful and blonde. Like, okay. And so she talks to Carter and is like, I'm going to talk to him after the pep rally, but we discover in between this that one of the stepsisters found out that Sam was Cinderella and has been emailing him. And they try to get Austin to believe that they're Cinderella.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't, because fucking they're not. They're not blonde, first of all.
They're very obviously not.
Yeah. And so they take this to heart, and they kind of set up this scenario where it's like, you know, Sam's been trying to get Austin to dump Shelby, and so the only way to get back at her is to publicly humiliate her and read their emails out loud to each other. Mm-hmm. So an announcement is made over the intercom, like, Cinderella, your Prince Charming wants to talk to you after the pep rally. And so this is when Sam decides, like, this is it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk to Austin and, like, make him realize it's fucking me, even though we've talked to each other and looked at each other in the eyes.
It's very obviously me.
It's very obviously
I'm
me.
going to finally tell him.
Yeah. And so the pep rally comes, and, you know, Austin's dad is there and is like, if you do a good job at the game, you can get into USC. Like,
come on, son.
Every other word is USC. And so at the pep rally, Shelby is putting on this performance of, like, Cinderella and Prince Charming. It's basically just reading their emails out loud.
Yeah, like, really embarrassing.
Yeah. And,
traumatic.
Like, he's embarrassed, and she's embarrassed, and everyone's laughing. They're making a big caricature of it all. And so Sam...
Weirdly, the principal is just sitting there.
And it's just, like, looking mildly concerned, but isn't putting a stop to it. I was like, what kind of fucking pep rally is this? Like, we didn't have drama performances during our pep rallies. It was just, like, half-assed cheerleading.
Right.
And maybe the dance team showed up.
Right.
So Sam runs home because she's very traumatized and has been bullied all day. And is just sobbing.
Oh my God, it's so sad. I hate to see Hilary Duff cry.
And as she's sobbing, Fiona comes in and is like, you got a letter from Princeton. And so, you see her face kind of light up a bit, like...
For a second, thinking,
here,
like, maybe everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
She opens...
Spoiler alert, it's not. Her day just continues to get worse.
She opens the letter, and it's a rejection.
We regret
Princeton.
to inform you.
You've been rejected.
Reject. And
so,
yeah.
She's obviously, like, even more devastated, even though it's a fucking fake
letter, because
fucking
Fiona, as glamorous as she is and as much as we love her,
yeah,
is a snide little bitch.
And Fiona's like, at least you can have a job at the diner forever. And she's just like...
Sam's like, okay, what?
And then she just starts sobbing. And then Fiona offers her a moist cookie. And then...
Moist.
Moist. But yeah, so then... basically...
She's at the diner working.
She's very resigned at this point.
And Fiona comes by. I don't even remember how the altercation starts, but like Sam finally stands up for herself and is like, "No, I'm not going to keep doing these things because like now that I didn't get into Princeton, like why would I keep doing this?"
Yeah.
And Fiona's like, "Well, what else are you going to do?" And like,
where are you going to live? And Rhonda's like, you could live with me. Mm-hmm. And then, Fiona tries to kind of say to Rhonda, like, you're going to, like, you don't say another word. And then Rhonda's like, I'm quitting because you suck. And see
your
how
child
this place
is gonna live
runs.
with me.
Yeah, she was like, I've stayed here this whole time for this little girl. Now that she's gone, I'm gone.
Cry.
I know.
That was such a sweet moment. We love Rhonda.
We love. So, but I'm also so proud. This moment does not get enough credit.
It doesn't.
Like, yes, it's a romantic movie, but her dad also tells her that it's not just about Prince Charming. It's also about, like,
believing in
your dreams.
Yeah.
And so she is sticking up for herself and, like, deciding to move out. It's, like, such a brave moment.
It is. And, like, it's hard when you're younger and you're in that cycle of abuse to be like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
Exactly. To, like, step out of an abusive situation is really brave.
Especially with your only caregiver that you've known since you were like 8.
Yeah. And then next, basically, she's at Rhonda's, then like Carter, and she double checks. It's so sweet when she's like, Rhonda, are you sure it's okay if I stay here? And Rhonda's like, absolutely. Like,
yeah,
you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Like,
you're the love of my life's daughter. She didn't say that, but we say she did.
Yeah.
So Sam decides, you know what? There's something I've got to do. Don't wait up. And Sam goes to the big game. The big game.
But also, there's, like, this moment where Carter is like, I'm here for you. And you know what I'm talking about? When Carter just, like, comes through as, like, such a good friend.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah.
He's such a good friend.
He comes up and goes...
point that out.
He's amazing. He's one of the best parts of the movie because, like, they didn't do this whole, like, will they, won't they vibe with them, which they easily could have, like... He's been friend zoned, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that it was just a genuine like,
connection.
loving friendship between the two.
He, like, runs up to her and says, Sam, I'm so proud of you. I heard about what happened with Fiona. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. I'm so happy for you. Like, made me want to cry. And he's like, are you going to go, like, talk to Austin now? And she's like, yeah, I guess I am. Yeah. And... so she goes into the men's locker room before the game and gives him a talking to. What does she say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the most iconic moment in the movie. So she's all upset with him, and she's just like, I don't get it. Like...
how did you not know it was me?
Yeah, literally. Which, thank God she said that.
Finally.
And then she says, you know what, Austin? Waiting for you is like waiting for rain in this drought. Useless and disappointing. And then she like spins around and walks out, and he kind of like slams his locker because he realizes that he's been a goddamn fool.
He's a dummy.
Goddamn fool.
Goddamn fool.
So, then it's the game.
And Sam's like, I'm going to stay and watch.
Because
like,
Carter asks her to.
Yeah. And she's watching him play, and everyone...
oh, yeah, his dad is like, this is it, son.
His dad is on the field, even though he's not a coach.
I love when you called that out. You were like,
Like, all the other parents are in the bleachers.
I feel like my dad was like that.
Yeah.
Like, when I played, like, elementary basketball, my dad was like, come on, kids. Like, this is it.
He was down on the field like, all right, son, do well in this game, and USC's a sure in. Like, say something other than the words USC. Like, please. And Austin is like, oh, I don't know what to do. And May Angels Lead You In by Jimmy Eat World is playing.
Oh, yeah, when they're playing, when the game's happening.
It's very Friday Night Lights a little bit.
Work.
And he's playing, and he's realizing his heart's not in it. And he sees Sam in the stands, and she's about to leave.
Yeah, she's like, I can't be here.
I just can't watch him.
And
like,
Carter's like, I get it. So then she...
I was saying to Katie, I was like, girl, you've had like 5 emails with him and 1 slow dance. Like...
But like me, afterwards, I was like, Danielle, I was literally so like this. I'm kind of still like this. Like, if you've blinked in my direction, I'm like, we just broke up. But yeah, so she's like running out, and he's
going to leave the game.
Yeah, he's like leaving the game.
This is my favorite part.
Okay, tell me what happens, Danielle. Tell me.
So in every single movie where there's a child who's being pushed to pursue sports, there is this line. So as Austin's leaving, Chad Michael Murray's running, and his dad stops him and is like,
wait.
Chad Michael Murray is Austin.
You said as Austin's leaving, Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah, they're the same person.
Oh, I thought
it's just
you
so
were
we
saying,
can watch Chad
I thought
Michael
you were saying
Murray
like
run.
as.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were trying to say as Sam is leaving.
Oh yeah. They're interchangeable. So as he's leaving the game, his dad stops him and is like, "What are you doing, son? You're gonna lose USC." Or like, "You're giving up your dream." And Austin goes, "No, Dad. I'm giving up yours."
I'm giving up your dream.
And runs off the field.
Iconic.
Every sports movie.
Iconic.
Everyone. I'm sure Troy Bolton said it at some point. And he couldn't get his head in the game. So he goes to meet Sam, and Sam's like, "What are you doing?"
Ooh, and it's in the bleachers, and everybody's standing there.
And watching. The game isn't even going, but people are still cheering for some reason. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Something I should have done a long time ago."
Yeah.
And the smooch.
And then he leans in for a big one.
And he plants a big
And then,
wet
as
one.
they're kissing, a water droplet falls from the sky and onto his cheek. And then it begins to rain, baby. Oh my God.
Let the rain fall down. And the drought is no longer useless and disappointing. Or the rain is no longer useless and disappointing. Or the wait. None of it's useless.
Nothing's useless and disappointing anymore because it is raining and she is making out with
Chad Michael Murray.
Nomad. And
so, as you know, they have their like happy ending, and like we get the voiceover back, and she's describing what's happened to every person. Like, she found the will.
Oh yeah, we forgot to say this. When she was like crying and like really upset, she like found like the fairy tale book that her dad gave her, and she's like, and she like throws it across the room, and like when she goes back into her room to pack to leave for good, she finds she finds a freaking will in the freaking fairy tale book, because he did say to her at the beginning, like,
open these
there's
up.
there's maybe something you'll really need one day is inside of this book.
And like Fiona co-signed it, so like she knew it existed and was purposefully hiding it. So turns out Sam gets the house, she gets the car, the Dinah, and because Fiona like broke the law, apparently she can serve her time washing the floors forever at the diner.
And they obviously tell her that she actually did get it. They tell Sam she got into Princeton, and all is well.
All is well. Carter gets the e-girl.
Oh, I love that part, because like they show a scene where it's like Shelby, like the mean girl, is like, because Carter gets a commercial,
and like everyone thinks it's so cool.
Yeah, and so like Shelby's like up on him, and it's like, and Carter got the girl, and you're like, ugh. And then the camera pans, and it's like this cool like
indie girl.
Yeah, that he actually probably has stuff in common with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Carter gets the girl, and Sam gets the boy, and they drive off to Princeton together because they both got accepted.
I wonder if they stayed together.
I mean, it's college. I don't think so.
Who knows?
Is there a Cinderella story too?
There is, but it's not connected.
Oh, really?
It's like different actors, yeah.
Why? I want to see like a linear sequel. I hate when they do that.
Mean Girls did that too. Mean Girls too. I couldn't even get through that
I want a linear sequel where I know what happens
something
next.
Else.
Yeah, because it's no longer I have a big issue with this.
I can feel it.
I will rant and
I
stutter
can feel
for
it,
hours.
baby.
But it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that's how the movie ends, and it's beautiful, and it's very cute. I'm very happy we watched this. I had a great time.
That is A Cinderella Story.
Yeah,
it was cute.
Yeah.
It was a cute one. It definitely made me remember being a kid. They end it with this one Hilary Duff song that I forgot about, and I was like, oh, I love this song.
They also end it with like Hilary Duff's version of "I lips the sealed."
Oh my god, I love Hilary Duff.
We love you.
My dad always used to joke, like, when I'd be watching Lizzie McGuire, like, she's 27. And I'd be like, no, she's not. She's actually 14. And my dad would be like, she's 30. And I'd be like, shut up. She's not. Like, I would be...
Dad.
I would get so mad at him for that.
Yeah.
Like, no, in the teen magazine last week, it literally said her birthday's in October and she's going to be 15. Like, shut up. Like, I would get mad.
It's like, obviously a joke just for him because he got to see you get like riled
Oh,
up.
yeah.
It's so funny.
And
my dad used to do that where he was like, why do you guys watch SpongeBob all the time? It's so stupid. And then we'd all be sitting there watching it, and I'd hear him go, hoo, hoo, hoo,
I watched SpongeBob today.
As you should.
I put on the pizza episode.
The Krusty Krab pizza
yeah.
is the pizza for you and me.
Krusty Krab.
Yeah. Anyway.
I literally watched that today.
Catherine,
What?
I have a question for you.
What is your question, love?
How'd this movie fuck you up?
I just think like bringing back the nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
And just, I feel really grateful and lucky that I had, I mean, I'm sure there's some negative side effect, like negative things that have come from this, but like having people like Hilary Duff and the Olsen twins, and they just filled my childhood with so much, like, I don't know, like I just got excited about my future because of those movies. And also just, now I want to be a mean stepmom.
True. We discovered that you want to be a mean, abusive stepmother.
Just for one day.
Like with no repercussions.
Because I feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
Like it's not me, but it is me. But it's not me. I have like an alter ego that is like a rich, mean stepmom.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to like explore that alter ego just for a minute.
Just for a minute.
But yeah, Jennifer Coolidge obviously fucked this movie up so hard.
She deserved an Oscar.
True. So I think that's how for me.
Yeah.
Danielle.
Yeah.
How did this movie fuck your up? How did this movie fuck you up?
You know, it made me really grateful that I don't walk around wearing masks every day because people might not know who I am. Oh wait, we do walk around wearing masks every day.
Wait a second.
Eye masks. No, I mean, I guess, yeah, it has to be nostalgia because, like, even though I never watched it when I was younger, like, I very much, like, was transported back to 2004. I think I said something at some point today, and I was like, I'm still in 2004. Like, it's just nice to, like, go back to when you were 13 or, like, movies you watched when you were 13 and be like, oh, God, this is how I was feeling at this point in time. And, like, just saying hello to that inner child of yours and being like, hey, friend.
Haggard.
How we doing?
Yeah.
And, yeah. Just also seeing how all of, like, the trends are coming back and how everyone is having, like, Y2K parties and stuff like that.
I think I might go to one tonight.
Have fun.
I know, it's so crazy.
But yeah, I think that's how it fucked me up.
Yes.
So did they? Or didn't they?
They did.
They did.
Of course they did.
Yeah, of course
This was not the type of movie where they were not going to.
No.
But we love to see it. And I love the grand gesture. I like Kiss me in front of everyone in the whole fucking school especially after making me feel
like a dirty
like I was
little
invisible.
secret. Yeah.
Like, I love that flex for him.
Yeah, growth. We love that growth. We love to see it. We love to hear it. We love to watch it.
We love. All right.
I
think that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Everybody, thank you so much for supporting, for listening, for reposting our stuff. You know, we're just chugging along here doing our best, and we're so grateful that anyone's tuning in at all.
We're still having fun doing this. I mean,
oh yeah,
it gives us an hour to just sit and talk about rom-coms and watch a movie together
and talk about Lumiere's bisexuality. I mean, like, who could want anything else?
The possible romantic. I can't. Depression.
Okay, I think it's time.
I love talking. Thank you guys so much. We love you very much. Be sure to follow on Will They Won't They Pod on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. Also, thank you to Pearl for the use of our theme song and our outro. We're very grateful. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you guys again, and we will see you next week. Sorry. Bye, guys. Bye, babes. Love ya.
Bye, darlings.
Bye, darlings. Bye, babes.